master all magic.
Cast it on Civ. That's plus 10 spell damage. Or that's plus 12 spell damage. They didn't cast a frost spell. But yep. We finished the job. It's gonna be, I think, a plus 8 or plus 10 spell damage here. Yeah, plus 8. So, more than enough to get the job done. Yep, so that's pretty much this deck. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Maestro. In today's deck overview, as you saw from the highlights, we are looking at the Civ Mage, and this is the new updated version that includes some cards from the mini set from Whizbang's Workshop. Most notably, it's buy one get one freeze, because we basically the plan of this deck is to use watercolor artist to draw buy one get one freeze, and then that's gonna get reduced down to 0, and we're gonna cast that onto Civ to get 2 Civs, and then we'll have like a massive amount of spell damage to just fleeing like our Molten Runes and like Flame Geysers and things like that. And we also included Dark Moon Magician. So this card is actually pretty incredible. Like the RNG spells that you end up casting, most of the time they're gonna benefit you. We have a few games where we get a lot of really nice value off this card. So actually a pretty strong addition. In our ETC we have Khadgar for some more value, and then Yogg and Talon if we have a lot of generated cards. Sleet Skater is really great at kind of stalling and gaining armor. You can freeze Titans as well if you want to just like prevent those abilities from triggering. But everything else is pretty standard as far as Civ Mage goes. It's doing pretty well against like Death Knight, which is like, to me, it's like Death Knight just like the huge juggernaut of like the Hearthstone standard meta. And if you can like do well against Death Knight, I haven't lost a game against Death Knight yet, then I feel like your deck is pretty strong. So I have a few games to show you guys. I'm going to have post-game commentary now instead of the live commentary. So I'm changing up the format a little bit for these videos. If you guys have any thoughts or suggestions, let me know in the comments below, but hopefully I'll be able to give a little more insight into what I'm thinking, because during the live game I don't really talk a lot just because I'm just thinking and focused, but hopefully I'll be able to be more insightful in my commentary. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so this is our first game against a Tempo Mage. I wasn't exactly sure what type of deck they were, yeah, pretty excited to see how this deck is gonna do. And we do get our Dark Moon Magician, so I haven't played this card yet. I don't know if it's good or not, but looking forward to see kind of what we get out of it. It's a great turn 1 draw there. And I think you typically, for me, I want to choose a class that's like not something I already have in my deck. So like nature spells, I don't have that in my deck. Alright, we got really lucky getting our Civ. Okay, so I'm kind of planning things out. Turn 3. They also play their Dark Moon Magician. I was gonna play my Dark Moon Magician on turn 3, so I guess we'll just have kind of a mirror Dark Moon. And then they go for the Fireball to the face. Dark Moon, and unfortunately that's gonna be a whiff, or fortunately for me, that's gonna be a whiff on them. So it does whiff sometimes, but I think I have a pretty good run with mine, so that's a really good one. Primordial Glyph, I think. Yeah, it's another really good one. Oh gosh, yeah. Get another Dark Moon Magician. The coin. Okay. And it's gonna trigger based off the reduced cost instead of the base cost. So it's good to know. Heat Wave. Luckily that doesn't do my own minions. I think I got really lucky here. Because the targeting is random. Yeah, I think it's random. Okay, at this point I'm kind of wondering if it's a mirror match, but I haven't seen them play like other spell schools, so I don't know for sure. Okay, lucky I already drew Civ, so I don't have to worry about burning anything. That's too important. Okay, more Dark Moon Magician value. Unfortunately, if you don't play it from hand, I don't think it counts towards the Civ. Like, just like casting a spell from another minion. Yeah, so a lot of great value off Dark Moon Magician. They do manage to clear it with that Blast Mage Miner. And here's our nature spell. Pretty good. Here comes the drone. And they do have to deal with playing cards at a higher cost because of the... I think it's like a Razor Fin something? I forget what it's called. Okay, we get our second Dark Moon Magician because we just so impressed by his value. Another Chorus Riff. Yeah, because Dark Moon Magician's elusive, so you can't target it with spells. Makes it kind of hard to get rid of. Okay, we can get a Holy Spell. Helps our Civ. And there's the money card. And that is just an incredible high roll. Considering all the spells I have in my deck. They're gonna trade the, yep. Even though they're gaining armor, I believe I will still have enough damage.
Relaxation for all, and all thanks to me.
It's like they're Marin. They don't get the second attack in, but it does not matter because we're gonna get, I think, like plus 10 spell damage. Yeah. Cast it on Civ. That's plus 10 spell damage. Or that's plus 12 spell damage because I didn't cast a frost spell. But yep. We finished the job. Luckily that card casts after I've already destroyed the opponent. Alright. So next up, we're up against the classic Death Knight that I think is probably like 50% or more of the matches I queue up. So a huge part of the meta right now. It makes sense because like there's so many strong like legendaries in Death Knight. But you know what? We're gonna still do pretty well. This is a bit of a longer game because the combo doesn't work as smoothly as it usually does. But that just goes to show that even when the combo isn't perfect, you can still win the game. Okay, so I can play that next turn on their Snake Oil Salesman. Yep, typical Excavate, as we all know. There's our Dark Moon Magician. I don't want to play that right now because I know they can clear it next turn. They just like hero power. So like right off the bat, we see that I have already both buy one, get one freezes in my hand already, so I can't like do the combo. But you know, there's still a chance to win. So that's what happens if you do happen to draw both buy one, get one freezes. At least you have Frost Lich Cross Stitch as the other frost spell, which you can get reduced down to 0 and then combo that with Civ. That's the other option. I don't think I do that with this game just because there's so much like board pressure. I have to just like deal with their board. And it's like, oh, that definitely needs to die. So I have to use my reduced cost spell there, but it's totally fine because that minion is scary. That's their second Excavate, I think. No, that's their third Excavate. They're almost already, like, getting their Azurite treasure. Love the signature art on some of these cards. Alright, let's have a nice Dark Moon Magician turn. So I think the key with Dark Moon Magician is quantity over quality. Like, playing a lot of small one-cost spells, I think is... Or playing a lot of cheap spells is better than playing like one big expensive spell. So that's what I'm trying to do here, and that's really great. So I get to play another one. And then another one. Yeah, so the targeting is random, I think. But I think I had a couple of good targets with the other spells. Golden hell yeah. Here we get our shadow spell. There's our other Frostlich Cross Stitch. Yeah, they just have like so much board pressure, it like kind of intimidates me. I do end up burning a card. So I'm just like praying that I don't burn Civ right here. That's like my only chance at winning. But yeah, if you get dirty ratted and your Civ gets dirty ratted, like there's not a lot of other sources of spell damage with this deck. So I think there's that new card that's coming out next expansion with Warrior that like destroys a card in your deck. Oh, that's actually a great burn. But if like your Civ gets disrupted in this deck, like that's pretty much game almost, unless you can win by tempo. The Mana Giant is great here because yes, I've played a bunch of cards that did not start in my deck. But I think Warrior is getting like that card that eats a minion in your deck, so I don't know how strong Civ is gonna be once Perils in Paradise comes out and there's more ways of disrupting minions in your deck. At least for now, that hasn't been a problem.
Remnants of life.
We got our rock. That rock is going to be very important. Right, so I know I can't use the buy one get one freezes on Civ, so I'm going to try and use it on their high value minions. And R? Oh, they're going to get back their Primus. Oh, and then the Yogg just basically SD'd. Sometimes that happens with Yogg. Sometimes, yeah. So. Alright, so we got a pretty nice board clear here, I think. Thanks to Yogg. I don't know if I've cast a fire spell yet. No, I think I have. Yeah, I have. Okay, so they're gonna get their Yogg back because Yogg is 9 and Primus is 8. I think they were trying to get Primus back and they forgot about Yogg. Totally fine though, because I can't use any of Yogg's abilities. A nice nature spell. Gonna get our own Yogg. Gain some armor. I think we want to protect. See if we can protect our Yogg that we stole from the opponent as much as we can. Yeah, because ours unfreezes. It looks like they're gonna clear. But at least we get some health health back. So there you go. You can use Bio and Gale and Freeze to get all of your opponents high value minions.
You could use a trim.
Short! I must report!
You could use a trim.
And I definitely should have just Flame Geysered on the Yogg so they didn't restore health, but that's okay, it's my bad. And honestly, that was kind of a questionable play to get the 2 spells instead of reducing the ones in my hand. But it kind of works out in the end.
Don't you know who I am?
Ooh. So we're getting some nice stalling going on. I think I want to try and build a board for my Wave of Nostalgia. They got the Rust Route Viper Tech. See, and that card is the reason why I don't regret choosing Wave of Nostalgia anymore. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, so I think my goal is to just even out the board as much as I can here. Or like create an even number of minions on both sides. And it's definitely like I definitely could have done this better. But yep. I get a high roll on Thaddeus, but I can't play. I'm not interested in playing any of my cards. And of course they have the Soul Stealer. Yeah, that hero power is so good for them. Okay, we got really lucky and got our Civ. So now I'm like, I have hope now. They're at a little too high of a life total though.
Don't you know who I am?
There's our Ice Barrier. We have a nice armor barrier.
Candle but lighter.
Yep. It's gonna be a bit of a long game, but
Now watch as I pull.
you know, we still got value, so I do have to use my first Molten Rune. That's a Fell spell, which is pretty good. Really lucky that hit theirs. Oh yeah, because mine's untargetable. It's an interesting card there.
Relaxation for all, and all thanks to me.
So I think the path to victory for me at this point is just trying to play as many spell schools as I can and just get a single civ juiced up juiced up with a lot of spell damage. And we do get our second Molten Rune, which is super lucky. Got a nice armor barrier they have to chew through, so we're kind of chilling. Yeah, we want to save that Molten Rune. Trying to figure out. I think right now I have 30 damage, and they're 31. So I need to somehow get them down to 30 or below. So I think just like if I hero power face, yeah, and they don't heal, and I have a pretty intimidating board they have to deal with. I have an extra flame geyser. Alright, so basically as long as they don't heal above 30 or kill me, I should be in. I'm going for the big board clear here. Still have a little bit. Okay, I can see the end. They have 3 mana. Alright. And there you go. That's how you manage to pull it off, even if the combo doesn't work. At least as long as you have Civ and like 1 Molten Rune. That's all you need. The biggest damage rock that I've ever thrown in my life. 10 damage. Alright, so here's a third game. Again against Rainbow Excavate Death Knight. This time the combo does work, so we do get through this game a bit faster. I honestly don't really understand why people like running Snake Oil Salesman. Like, cause if you trade like the oil, like sure you get a card, but if you draw into that oil again, you have to trade it again, right? So you're still spending mana, like, I don't know. Anyways. So Frostbolt there would have been another good choice to combo with Civ, but I think I'm just looking for like survivability right now. Alright. So I'm trying to set up for Frostlich Cross Stitch next turn. Yeah, so they have a lot of pressure here on my life total. So that's something kind of unique about Death Knight is you get the Ogrefist Boulder, you can make a 6/7 charger. Yeah, the reason I don't main deck Khadgar or Yogg is because they would mess with the Talon that I have. And I want Talon to exclusively tutor Civ because that's basically the win condition of this deck. Alright, there's our money card. And since we already have one, buy one, get one. Since we already have one Molten Rune, I feel fine with like chucking the other one. They're gonna restore all the health that I just... all the damage that I just dealt. Bound to happen though, because you know, Death Knight. So they've already excavated their treasure, but they haven't played any Titan yet, I don't think, so there's no point in playing the Azurite Rat. You get really lucky and top deck Civ.
Don't use your head. Use mine.
Alright, so I think I have plenty of damage to go in next turn. There's their Primus. But alas, it is of no use, sir.
Unholy symbol of death.
You about to face the buy one get one freeze OTK. It's gonna be, I think, a +8 or +10 spell damage here. Yeah, +8. So, more than enough to get the job done. Yep, so that's pretty much this deck. Hope you enjoy.